Ready.
Welcome to episode 70 of the Go Get 'em Agility podcast. My name is Margaret Hughes and I'm your host. And I'm going to do another What's the Difference? What's the difference between push-ups and the up and down game? I'm going to start with push-ups. They're also called puppy push-ups or doggy push-ups or dog push-ups. And dog push-ups is the act of the dog going from a sit to a down repeatedly. So sit down, sit down, sit down. Or they can also be going from a stand to a down. So stand down, stand down. And so the dog's just alternating behaviors. That is a puppy push-up. A little bit more on the obedience side, but that's a puppy push-up. So the dog's actually doing work to earn a reward or for whatever reason. The up and down game is quite different. The up and down game is a focus game. It's a pattern game, and we can use it not only to help the dog, but more importantly, actually sometimes, to help the handler. So when dogs come into the arena, either for the first time or for practice, or they're just a little bit distracted, the up and down game helps the dog to recenter and focus with the handler. And it also really helps the handler to calm down, regulate their breathing, and come back into logical connection with their dog. So the up and down game is the act of the handler, and it's just important for the handler as it is for the dog. It's the act of the handler taking a cookie or a treat and bringing the cookie from their hand down to their foot and putting the cookie or the reward on their shoe, actually on their shoe. And the dog's job is to go bob his head up and down. And the handler's job is to have cookies in their right hand, cookies in their left hand. And the right hand feeds the right foot, left hand feeds the left foot. And the act of the handler bending up and down, alternating hands is very important. That helps to regulate, I don't know exactly what it does, but it works. It's the act of alternating the hands, and it's along the very similar lines of a baby crawling. So a baby learning to crawl, that back and forth motion that their hands and legs do is really important, I believe, for reading, if I remember correctly, back when Emma was a baby. But it helps to connect the brain waves, right? It helps to have brain connections. And so there's something about the back and forth that helps our body. And the up and down game does that not only for the handler, but also for the dog. So the dog going up and down with their head bobbing up and down helps to recenter them and bring them back into focus. And when I have my handlers do this, I want the dog on a loose leash. That doesn't necessarily mean a long leash, right? They don't need to be at the end of 6 feet, but I want the dog on a loose leash, and the handler just repeatedly goes up and down, alternating hands, alternating feet, and the dog's job is just to go up and down with their head and stay in connection with their handler and eat the rewards. Sometimes the dog will lay down in this process. And it's not about laying down at all. It's just about going up and down with their head. And so if the dog does lay down, then I just have my handlers step back, see if the dog will stand up again. Not telling them to stand up, but just the movement of the handler. Can the dog stay in focus with the handler, move back a foot or two, and then go back into the up and down game again? And the up and down game, I started on leash. But then as the dog is connecting, the handler is connecting, in the middle of the up and down game, I just say, go ahead and take the dog's leash and continue the up and down game. So the leash just generally comes off. There's not a lot of fuss about the leash coming off. The leash just comes off. The handler continues with the up and down game. And then when they believe that they've got their dog in connection, they can begin to work their start line or whatever skill we're working on in that lesson. And the up and down game can be literally done anywhere on course. So it can be at your start line. If you start to lose connection on a pause table, the up and down can go on the pause table. So the handler's feeding the pause table instead of their shoe just because the dog's up there. You could do a skill set within your practice and then go right back into the up and down game. Sometimes I have my handlers do the up and down game while I'm talking to them, giving them instruction for what we're doing next. It's a great thing to do before coming into the arena or, into a trial. So you're waiting your turn at a trial. It's a great game to play waiting your turn. It's a great game to play at the end of your practice or your trial to reconnect them with you. So it's a pattern game. I believe, if I remember correctly, it comes from Tracy Skellner's, the first place that I saw it being done. And I'm pretty sure that she took it and built on it from Leslie McDivitt's, I believe I'm saying that name correctly, Controlled Unleashed. So pattern games, the reason that pattern games are so great and the reason that they work is because dogs thrive on patterns. They love patterns. They love the predictability of the pattern game. They love the simplicity of the pattern games. And there are several of them. The up and down game is just one of them. So another game would be the 1, 2, 3 game. Another one is the bowl game. And then another one is the get it game. The get it game, I call it a crossbody get it. And the crossbody get it is, again, another pattern, the handler alternating the direction of a cookie throw. Right hand throws right, left hand throws left. Dog goes out, gets the treat, returns to the handler. Handler throws again. And so the dog's learning to track, but also the dog is patterning back and forth, away from the handler, back to the handler, away from the handler, back to the handler. So the up and down game is a little bit more focus based. The crossbody get-its, those are the two main ones that I use. The crossbody get-its is more about action, back into focus. Action, back into focus. Action, back into focus. And it can be very, very quick. So you can have action, 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 back into focus. So I love both of those, but I just wanted to make a distinction between puppy push-ups and the up and down game. Because quite often when I ask a new handler, do you know the up and down game? They start with sits and downs. And that is not the up and down game. That is puppy push-ups. Completely different. Does not work on focus in the same way that the up and down game does. All right, there's your difference. Puppy push-ups versus the up and down game. Happy